Why Prince Andrew is giving up his titles now, and what it means for the royal family. There seems little doubt the palace pushed for decision amid growing list of scandals involving Andrew. Prince Andrew gives up royal titles including Duke of York after discussion with King. Prince Andrew has relinquished his royal titles, including Duke of York, he said in a statement released through Buckingham Palace. Here are the details of what was announced last night, and what wasn't. What has Andrew said? Having already stepped down as a working royal in 2019, the prince has now decided to go a step further and agree not to use the title or the honors which have been conferred upon him. But he also used the statement to make a point of denying, as he has always done, the allegations of sexual impropriety made against him, albeit having paid out millions to settle the civil sexual assault case brought by Virginia Giuffre, a settlement in which he admitted no liability and strongly rejected any claims of wrongdoing. There has been persistent pressure on the monarchy over the allegations against Andrew, especially since his disastrous Newsnight interview with Emily Maitlis in 2019. He now claims he is acting to protect the royal family from further damage caused by public speculation. Has the king stripped him of his titles? No. And, while this could be dismissed as a mere formality, it is significant in two respects. First, it allows Andrew to publicly claim to have acted honorably in defense of the monarchy. As he said in his statement, "I have decided, as I always have, to put my duty to my family and country first." Second, while he has agreed not to use it, Andrew retains the dukedom, as well as the titles the Earl of Inverness and Baron Killyleagh and the prestigious role as Royal Knight Companion of the Order of the Garter. Like the HRH, His Royal Highness honorific, they essentially become dormant. He remains a prince and eighth in the line of succession. In theory, he is also still a councillor of state, and can stand in for the king if he is overseas or unwell. Although the palace has made clear that, in practice, he would not be asked to fulfill this role. Nevertheless, it is telling that Andrew's statement said the decision was made, in discussion with the king. There seems little doubt that, behind the scenes, the palace pushed for this in the hope of cutting Andrew loose. Why hasn't he been officially stripped of all of his titles? To forcibly remove a dukedom would take an act of parliament, and would represent such a historic move in full view of the public. It has not happened to a senior royal in more than 100 years, that it would most likely cause more reputational damage for the royals. Andrew is also still a prince. When he was born in 1960, he was automatically such as the son of a monarch. This could only be changed if a letters patent was issued by the king. The whole process could end up being drawn out, meaning the objective of swiftly resolving the issue, at least for the royal family's purposes, would not necessarily be met. What does it mean for Andrew? Humiliation, probably more than anything else. The statement represents an effective loss of status he has fought against for years. He and his ex-wife, Sarah, still live in Royal Lodge, despite rumored attempts by the king to encourage his brother to move out of the 30-room Crown Estate property in Windsor Great Park. While little light has been shed on exactly how much money Andrew has received as a result of his position, he remains a wealthy individual. In 2007, he was able to raise £15 million from the sale of a property that had been a wedding present from his mother, for example. Why now? The seemingly endless list of scandals involving Andrew has proved intolerable for the king and other senior royals. His friendship with the convicted child sex offender Jeffrey Epstein is once again in the headlines after it emerged Andrew had told him, "We are in this together," in an email sent 3 months after he claimed to have ceased contact. There have also been stories about his association with an alleged Chinese spy and, this week, The Guardian published extracts from the posthumous memoir of Giuffre, who died by suicide in April. She claimed the prince believed that having sex with me was his birthright. Moreover, the king is due to make a historic visit to meet Pope Leo next week, when he will become the first English monarch since Henry VIII split with Rome in 1534 to pray publicly with the Pope and head of the Catholic Church. He will not have wanted that trip to be overshadowed by more negative headlines about his brother. What has been the reaction? While he said his sister had been vindicated by the move, Giuffre's brother Sky Roberts has told The Times that Andrew's honorary prince title should be revoked for true justice to be done. The anti-monarchist campaign group Republic has also said the move is too little, too late, adding, Andrew remains accused of sexual offenses and abuse of office. He should be stripped of all titles and his Navy rank. Not using silly medieval titles is not a punishment that fits the offenses.